Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 33 of the Wolverine comic book series, written by Benjamin Percy. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. So with that said, this issue picks up right after the previous comic, with Weapon of X base hovering over Maverick's destroyed submarine at the bottom of the ocean. For Beast states X-Force may have been the CIA of Krakowa, but Weapon X will be a more covert, invisible but violently effective force that shapes the world for the better. And because of that, they must remain in the shadows and retrieve the Wolverine clone that was left behind, for it holds some of their secrets. So with that said, Beast continues to say, Recon will scour the sub and seafloor until the body is recovered, and to make sure nothing goes wrong, one of the Beast will accompany you as team leader. Now this caught one of the clones off guard, for they weren't expecting Hank to send one of their own down to do the job. But according to the head Beast, we can't believe ourselves superior if we don't do field operations, because it is important to get our hands dirty every now and then to remind us that strategy has physical stakes. So as he walks away, we observe Maverick stowing Wolverine's clone body amidst the underwater vegetation outside the base. Meanwhile, Beast clone and a few Weapon X clones leave the base and head towards the disabled ship. So with Maverick watching the clone team moving into position, he couldn't shake the feeling deep in his stomach for revenge, for he paid a lot for that sub and Beast wasn't about to get away with this. So as the clone and his strike team entered the vessel, Maverick systematically started to pick off each clone one at a time until Beast was by himself. But unlucky for the clone, he came across one of the Wolverine's remains that just so happened to be near a bomb. And before he knew it, the device exploded. So following all that, we get the after-mission report in the form of the data page. And on there, we discover that the clones of Beast are beginning to grow disillusioned with their leader, for they believe that he cares very little for their well-being and agree to watch him moving forward. So with that said, we skip over to the healing gardens in Krakowa with Jeff Bannister waking up in a panic. For he thought the worst for a split second, but luckily his fears were quickly dismissed as Maddie's voice caught his ear. For on the next page, we see Maddie sitting with Black Tom, and in a joyous reunion, father and daughter were united for the first time since Beast did what he did. So despite the love between the two, Maddie made sure to let her father know that she wasn't happy with what he did. So after Jeff was done getting chewed out by his daughter, he turned to ask Black Tom about Logan's whereabouts, because he couldn't let Wolverine go on alone. So with that said, we skip over to Maverick's secret base off the coast of Greenland with the clone of Wolverine dangling over his shoulder. And upon getting in, he immediately went to his subterranean prison and tossed it inside, and quickly slammed the bars behind him. But before he could even turn around, the real Wolverine snuck up behind him and put his claws to his neck. So with the introduction made, Wolverine put his claws away and went on to tell Maverick that Beast went rogue and turned against Krakowa and is currently doing his own thing, which is hunting down everyone who is against the mutant state as a whole. So with that information out there, Maverick also went on to tell Logan that Beast has a massive Krakowan tech base as well as an army of Wolverine clones at his command. And on a side note, Maverick knew that the resurrection business would eventually bite them in the ass. So after the two share a drink, Logan squatted down to get a closer look at the imitations, and by his assessment, Beast hasn't quite mastered the formula, because if Beast got it right, then Maverick would have already been dead. So with a single strike, the real Wolverine killed the clone, and stated that he will call Sage to arrange for a transfer of evidence, because maybe she could get some answers as to what Beast could be up to. So with the clone dead, he tells Maverick that they will be going on a hunt together for Beast. So following that, we shift over to the English Channel, where Beast is at it again, for a squad of Wolverine clones does what they are made to do. And the purpose of this was to interrupt the supply chain and create a desperate need for alternate treatments. So with that said, when the time is right, he would deposit a load of Krakowan medicine to their ports to fill this gap. And given the lack of choices, they will have no other option but to accept it, and in doing so, their citizens will recognize both mutants' charitable manner and the superiority of Krakowan treatments. So with yet another mission accomplished, we once again see the other Beasts scheme behind the main Beast's back, for they all notice that the OG Beast is undervaluing them, but as long as he has the Cerebro sword under his control, they are all disposable to him. So with the Beast clones biding their time, we ship over to the CIA headquarters where Jeff is pushing for a tactical strike team along with a lot of resources to bring in the former head of X-Force, who is now known for acting independently from Krakowa, the one and only Beast. So with the green light given, we jump back over to Weapon of X HQ where the three Beasts speak of laying low, for if the main Beast even thinks that they are planning a mutiny, they believe he would just eliminate them on the spot. So with all three Beasts in agreement, Beast Prime calls for a meeting for a new mission of great importance. But to their surprise, the mission wasn't for them, but rather for the Wolverines, because once they all were together, Beast Prime had the Wolverine cut them down all at once, for he knew his clones were plotting against him from the start. So with them all laying in pieces on the floor, he orders the Wolverines to burn them as he begins to process their replacements. So with the clones disposed of, we skip over to Jeff on board an aircraft carrier in the North Atlantic Ocean, briefing a fully equipped task force on the mission at hand. So once everything was explained, Bannister wanted all jets in the air locked and loaded and ready to drop their payload at a moment's notice, as he followed closely behind them in a helicopter. So once they all were airborne, the mission control calls Bannister with a positive ID on a mutant hostile in the targeted quadrant, which so happened to be Logan and Maverick, but from their perspective, it was just another Wolverine clone, right for the picking. So with misinformation in the air, Bannister gives the green light to take out his friend. So with that said, issue number 33 of Wolverine comes to an end. So down in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts about this issue and what predictions you could have moving forward. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.